Book Dragons? It's Alyssa and you're watching Pages in Ink. Welcome back to another installment of Book Toast or Book Roast. Today I will be reviewing Geekerella by Ashley Poston. I know I'm late to the game. This book has been out for a while. I know everyone's read it. The second book just came out. Well, I guess it's more like a companion book. Most people have read this book and I'm just a hot mess and just now getting to it. But I really wanted to share my thoughts on it since I do love fairy tale retellings, and Cinderella retellings happen to be my favorite type. If you couldn't tell by the title of this book, it combines my two favorite things, geekiness and Cinderella. It follows a girl named Danielle, or Elle as her family and friends call her, and a boy named Darian who happens to be a movie star who is starring as the lead role in Elle's favorite TV show reboot. Elle is not happy that he is the star and jumps on her blog bashing him, and it blows up, and at some point their paths cross. And you can probably guess what happens next. I don't think this review will be one of my longer ones. It's probably gonna be pretty short because it's everything that you expect out of a book named Geekerella. So I do enjoy the geeky side of this. I enjoy all of the Lord of the Rings references, the Star Wars references, the Star Trek references. I'm pretty sure there was even Harry Potter references in here. And I really enjoyed that. I love that a good chunk of the book takes place at a con. Her father started ExcelsiCon, and as you know, I love Comic-Cons. I go to Comic-Cons. It's just a good place to be when you're a nerd and you like books and you like nerdy things. I love Star Trek, I love Star Wars, I love the Orville. I do have to say, as far as the writing goes, I really enjoyed it. I just have a harder time getting into books that are first person perspective, and so since this follows two different people and they're both first person perspective, I had a harder time getting into the story. I liked the characters, I loved Frank, the little wiener dog in here. I loved Sage. I do wish that Sage got her own book. I think that would have been awesome. I have to say that the villain in this story was a little too much for me. It was a little ridiculous on both ends. Darian kind of has his own like antagonist and Elle has her own antagonist, and I just didn't believe either one. I thought it was a little too over the top, a little too much, and really stupid. I would have just preferred if it was more of a Cinderella retelling instead of adding these antagonists that didn't need to be a part. And I get it, like she has evil stepsisters, but I felt like this was more inspired by Ever After with Drew Barrymore than it was by like the original Cinderella story. I can also appreciate that it talks about girls in fandoms and girls at Comic-Cons and in cosplay, and how there's just this way that women are looked at in these fandoms. They're looked down upon. People can be very condescending. There are several people that I know personally that when they go to Comic-Cons, they're treated like the dumb girl or like the fake fan. I like that it started talking about it. I just wish it would have gone into more detail because I think that is a very prominent issue that we see in these sort of worlds that not everyone experiences. You can also see it on like BookTube. There's several different creators who are females who talk about when they're seen reading a fantasy book, how most people call them fake fans or expect them to like romance novels. Not that there's anything against it, but I wish that it would have addressed that issue more, considering that it just brushed the surface of it. So I hope that they explore this idea more in the second one, especially as someone who goes to Comic-Cons. I just see it firsthand all the time of women being talked down to or looked down upon because they're in this fandom, and just because they're women, there's no way that they can be a true fan. I think that's ridiculous. I think it's stupid. Stop. All in all, this book was exactly what I expected it to be. It wasn't the greatest piece of literature ever written, but it wasn't terrible. It was a really cute book. I do recommend it. I'm going to read the second one at some point. I keep calling it the second one, but it's more of a companion novel. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. At some points I thought maybe it was a 3, but I did really enjoy it. You don't really see a lot of Cinderella retellings that are done well, so I enjoyed it. 4 out of 5 stars. So that's it for my video. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you want to join the Book Dragon family, we'd absolutely love to have you. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. And as always, until next time, remember to be nice to yourself and be kind to others.